All right. Shabbat Shalom to the whole full elect of the nation of Israel. We're going to start off by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Hashem,
Hashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Bahashem,
Bahashem, Rafakodash.
All right. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. All right. And have taught us this word in truth and sincerity and peace and mercy to the whole full elect, starting with the 144,000 that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. The rest of the elect that sincerely believe. Okay, so in today's class, we're going to get into, it's going to be another edition of Doomsday Prophecy. And we're going to touch on, really, probably turn into various topics, but we're going to touch on digital surveillance. And as that's one step closer to the MOTB. All right. We're in the final days, all we're waiting for is that the MOTB, right? The mandatory implantation of the MOTB across the world. And what follows that will be the destruction of America by thermonuclear fire via ICBM missiles, all right? And the return of our Lord Yahushua. And with those two things in place, you're going to have insurrections, civil unrest, anarchy throughout the world, really, all right? And that's already brewing. In the midst of all that, this devil, right, starting with these the top wicked elite and their stooges on down, the technocrats, presidents, passing bills to basically lay out the infrastructure of which the MOTB is going to be administered in, a complete digital realm. And basically they're building up a digital Babel, Tower of Babel is what you're seeing play out. This idea of bringing the world together under one ideology, it's not new. The heathens have been trying to do this from ancient times, and the same spirits are coming back, right, trying to fulfill the same plans. Okay. So, Malak, do you have something you want to open up with before we get into some of the video I got?
Khan, right. Going into the surveillance aspect, this is the Lord's movie, Yahweh Shimei Shai's movie. So I'm going to go to the book of Revelation, the third chapter, and the 10th verse.
It's echoing.
Yeah.
Check.
All the fucking time.
Interesting. Check.
Okay.
Check. Oh.
Is it now echoing?
Check.
Yeah, Malak's echoing.
I'm echoing.
I'm not echoing though, eh?
No.
No, you're not. No, you're not echoing.
Is it me? No. Yeah.
Right now.
Check.
No, you're not echoing.
Check.
Okay.
Check.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good now?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
For some reason, for sure. It's always a culprit. For some reason. This guy's a spy, man. He's trying to ruin the videos.
And a spy bot over there, right? Wow.
You hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Check.
Okay.
When I sit here on my end, the echo.
Sure, man. Your house is bugged, bro. You gotta send some prayers up. Oh,
That's 15 years.
Oh, this is a new phone, so I don't know.
Oh, it's a new phone, eh? Oh, yeah, they definitely bugged it. They definitely bugged it.
Damn.
Shalom, brother.
All right, well, let's go ahead.
Right.
Malak.
Yeah. So in the time of surveillance, right? All praises, as I said before, this is the Lord's movie. So definitely he's speaking to his elect in regardless to what's going on around in regards to prophecy being fulfilled with digital surveillance. So I'm going to go to the book of Revelation 3:10. I'm going to just read 3 verses straight from the KJV, right? Brothers can in the spirit can chime in if you Christ. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Right? So, hey, these people don't know what's coming, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This digital surveillance is coming. It's here. And brace for impact. It's when the Lord permits the law to be passed and bring those crises, all hell will break loose. But the Lord says, I will keep thee from the hour of temptation. He's speaking to his elect. Okay? And simply put, the 11th verse of the church 3rd chapter says, behold, I come quickly. Hold fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. And here we have it, all these false teachers in Israel, they're telling us not to hold fast. They're telling us he's not coming quickly. Okay?
Right. And they're not giving you anything to really hold on to, right? As they're constantly changing the doctrine. Right now, you got IUIC trying to secretly sneak in and say that they've always been linking the poison, the snake venom, right, to the MOTB, which is not so, right? But at GMS, we've been telling you, starting with the apostles, right, on down, we've been giving you the same narrative, which is the 100% truth of what's coming down the pipe.
That's right.
Right. So what you are to hold on to, and hold on to fast, which means tightly, is to correct understanding of the Bible, because this YouTube era that we're in is only a phase, and we're actually near the end of this phase. Very soon, you will not see the prophets out there on the highways and byways, and you will not see us on the internet because of this digital surveillance. We're not going to be able to do this, right, as readily as we can now, or as freely as we can now. So this grace period is a time to really soak up the 100% truth of prophecy, because that's what's going to really give you the eyesight to see what's really going on, as everybody else is entertained by everything, food, the so-called political theater between Trump and Elon and this, that, and the third. Even with war, with the rumors of war, people are entertained and distracted by that. We know that the MOTB needs to come first before World War III.
That's right.
And people are sensationalists.
Right. Yeah.
They want to crash out and not go to work because World War III is on the way.
Yeah, can't.
But they just take it for a joke.
That's right. That's right. 100%. Revelation 3:12. It says, him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power, Yahweh. Right? So Yahweh Shai speaking through his apostle. Okay? Simply put, right? That's him speaking there. Right? To the apostle. You know this. Okay? Because he says there, he's going to make a pillar, right? In the temple. And says, and he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my power, right? So brother just mentioned precept before that, and also made a statement, powerful statement in regards to the reputation, right? The name, the reputation, and that name is Yahweh Shai, right? And it has a reputation to be straight and presenting the same eternal truth, right? Starting with the apostles and others on down. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, go ahead.
And that time, him that overcometh, what is it that we're gonna have to overcome? Not being basically outside of the grid, off the grid. Right now we're on the grid, but this whole digital surveillance that they're bringing about, all right, is to put everybody. The hell is that?
That bird again. Coming in.
Hold on. Is it there now? I don't know. It might be you, Bunyamin, or Shard. One of you guys are bugged.
No, it's not my
Yeah, Shard, man. You gotta send up prayers, brother. They keep messing with your stuff.
Hey, but Slakia, let me just say this too, right? Because it's an overcometh, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna take you to overcome hunger, fear,
Yes.
all those worries, pretty much the flesh, the body. You know, just like
Con,
really Yahushua overcame the flesh,
That's
con,
right.
right? We're gonna have to overcome a micro of that as well, not to the point of Yahushua, but you know what he did. But
Yeah.
right.
as the scriptures say in First Peter 4, just as Yahushua suffered in the flesh, arm yourself likewise.
Right.
Or with that mentality that we're gonna have to overcome everything in the flesh, pretty much, because it's gonna look like there's no way out. You know, it's gonna look like we're the losers. People are winning. People are gonna be eating. You know, on the internet. You know,
Yeah.
enjoying so-called life. You know,
That's right.
so you're gonna have
Right.
to overcome your own flesh, pretty much.
Con, con, con.
That's right.
Yep.
Beautiful.
100%. And that's a promise there. That's beautiful.
I actually have the word overcome in the Greek. I'll just read it real quick. The
Con,
word is nikao, which means to conquer, to carry off the victory, come off victorious,
mm,
of Yahushai, victorious over all his foes. It starts with Yahushai,
that's
right?
right.
And then it follows down to his elect, right? To the first fruit of Christians that hold fast their faith,
That's right.
even unto death against the power of their foes, and temptations and persecutions. When one is arraigned or goes to law to win the case, maintain one's cause. And we are before the law. We're before Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We have to prove ourselves, even though everything is preordained. You have to go through the fire. You got to get refined, you know. And Yahushai, we know he's our mediator. He's presenting us before Yahweh, you know, saying, look, these are the virgins that, you know, they're ready. They've been furnished, you know,
Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah.
and we got to maintain that cause, man. Yeah.
Con,
Yep.
con.
That's right. Continuing on in the verse, and it says, "And the name of the city." Let me read it again full. It says, "And I will write upon write upon him the name of my power, and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from Yahweh, and I will write upon him my new name." Right?
Mhm.
Which was just simply put, explained in regards to what the Lord is going to bring us through the refinement process. Verse 13, last verse, Revelation 13:3, it says, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. So definitely the spirit of prophecy will be on those who have an ear, right? Which is the elect.
Yeah.
Right?
And that New Jerusalem is not talking about a landmass coming out of the sky. Okay. For you bozos out there. But, you know, it's talking about the elect. All
That's
right.
right.
Starting with 144,000 coming out of a chariot, which the world ignorantly calls a UFO.
That's
Mhm.
right.
And what's coming down on high is this wisdom and knowledge from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai unto his elect men,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to get this written down in us, right? Because the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, said he's gonna put these thoughts in our mind. He's gonna put it this a new thing with
Mm-hmm.
Israel, which is putting this knowledge in us, right? That's the covenant, right? The second covenant we're gonna be getting at. The
Yep.
wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, where we can never go off.
Yep.
That's right. That's it.
Con. So I got this clip here from this guy. Eyes is watching. Brings a lot of different information out in one clip. So pretty good. So fair use, fair use, fair use. None of the channels on this panel are making money from this video. We're just showing this for educational purposes only. And none of this is medical advice whatsoever. So fair use, fair use, fair use. So I'm gonna play about maybe like 7 minutes of it, but just let me know, brothers, when you got something. I'll pause it. We'll bring out the precepts. Hey, Shalom Shema. Yahweh Shem Shabbat Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Yahweh Shema Shai.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Okay.
Can't hear it.
Oh, no?
I don't know. You brothers heard it?
No, nothing.
No.
Okay, good. Hold on.
Shalom Akim.
Shalom. Yahweh Shem Shabbat.
Yeah, Bashim Shabrakata. Shalom.
Okay. Let me know you should hear it now.
On purpose. Only time will tell, but we're about to.
You hear it now?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's echoing.
This is engineered chaos on a.
The video's echoing or is the
No,
birds?
when brothers are speaking.
Check.
Oh, whatever, man. Whatever. Fuck.
Just let it play and then go back to whatever you turn it off at.
Okay.
worldwide scale, designed to create the illusion of rebellion, while the same people who spark the fire offer you a digital leash and a QR code as the path to peace. You don't get protests across half the globe on the same day by accident. This is the controlled demolition of national identity and resistance, so they can build a new world order system right on cue. And while cities are erupting in chaos, I mean, LA burning again exactly 33 years after the last time, Ireland slipping into civil war, buildings.
Yeah, look at that. Exactly 33 years after the last time. Wow. It's Sonic.
On fire and children raped while the media plays dumb. Behind the smoke and broken glass, the real power is at play, quietly falling into place here. The European Union just rolled out its international digital strategy, a seemingly boring bureaucratic document that's actually a digital blueprint for global control. It's being sold as a tool for streamlining cross-border commerce and improving mobility, but this is just a smokescreen. They're just sugarcoating it. At its core is the push for centralized digital identity systems, what they're calling digital public infrastructure. And surprise, it's backed by the usual suspects, the United Nations, the World Economic Forum, and every other unelected body that wants to run the world without your input. The plan is to sync up digital ID systems across borders, Ukraine, Moldova, parts of Latin America, India, Egypt, Brazil, you name it, all using the EU's so-called digital identity wallet, which according to privacy advocates might as well be a leash with a QR code on it. The goal is mutual recognition of electronic trust services, which is translation, if you're flagged in one country, you're flagged everywhere. Your movement, your speech, your online activity, all tied to one centralized profile. But it doesn't just stop there. The same strategy calls for expanding content regulation under the EU's Digital Services Act, which pretends to protect free speech while giving the state a scalpel to cut out anything it deems.
Yeah, real quick, I want to bring this out because, as he had mentioned, all these different countries are rolling out the same system. All right. But this is prophecy concerning Revelation 17. As the Lord said, he'll put it in their hearts. Right? It says, Revelation 17:17, for Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, hath put in their hearts, and whose hearts? The rulers and the kings of the earth, to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast via what? This technology, ultimately surveillance through the microchip, until the words of Yahweh Bashim Shai shall be fulfilled. Okay. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. All right. So America is at the forefront of pushing this, right, behind the scenes. But really, when you go into it, it's the top wicked elite. All these different presidents and prime ministers that they have working for them, all right, are just really fulfilling and pushing their plans. And you have all these technocrats as well. Because what we're really getting into is a what do they call it? A technocracy, right? Which means rule by technology. Okay.
This includes
Yeah. Con.
includes mandatory platform compliance, risk monitoring, and yes, age verification, all in the name of protecting children. Years back, I showed you documents put out by the WEF saying they will control everything online and they need a digital ID so you can just access the internet, all because of, well, if you don't support that, then you probably support. That was their actual excuse. And now it's actually happening because every surveillance regime needs a good excuse, and that's what they're using here. Even the language they use, like fighting foreign information manipulation and interference, FIMI, FIMI, and that's just code for criminalizing dissent and erasing alternative narratives. Say something the regime doesn't like, now you're foreign interference. On page 11, they even commit to increasing attribution, meaning they're not just monitoring, they're identifying you, tagging you, and filing you away. And while all this is being pitched as defending democracy, what they're building is a worldwide system of ideological border control. One set of values, one version of truth, one digital identity to rule them all. The EU calls it global cooperation, but what it really is a basically digital imperialism. They're laying the groundwork.
So I forgot another precept too, because as he coined the term FIMI, foreign information. What was it again? Foreign.
Is their actual excuse. And now it's actually happening because every surveillance regime needs a good excuse, and that's what they're using here. Even the language they use, like fighting foreign information manipulation and interference, FIMI, FIMI, and that's just code for criminalizing dissent and erasing alternative narratives. Say something
alternative narratives
the regime doesn't like, now you're foreign interference.
Right. So guess what? The truth is an alternative narrative to these devil's global system that they're trying to set up.
That's right. That's right.
So I'm gonna get and you know, they use these words so that you don't really know who they're coming after, or so that you focus on the boogeymen that they set up. All right, the online boogeymen, but they're really the top wicked elite. They know who they're coming after, and it's really starting with the prophets. Okay, the ones that have the truth. So I'm gonna get Psalm 64 and 2. I'm gonna just read down to 10. So it says, "Hide me from the plots of this evil mob, for from this gang of wrongdoers. They sharpen their tongues like swords, and aim their bitter words like arrows," right? And this is where the demonization is going to come in terms of teaching the truth or teaching any alternative narrative to what they have set up, okay? And it says, and you know, the tongue also goes into many various aspects of this devil's system, not only the media, but his laws as well, right? As Trump pushes past, he during the time him and Elon were so-called fighting, guess what bill is being passed? That BBB bill, right? Beautiful, big, beautiful bill. When you look at it, it's really 666. Okay. So it says here, verse 4, they shoot from ambush at the innocent, attacking suddenly and fiercely. They encourage each other to do evil and plan how to set their traps in secret. Who will ever notice? They ask, right? Because like you said earlier, Elder, you said everybody is on that sensational vibration, sensationalist. So everybody's caught up, right, in the entertainment of the world, but who's really exposing this devil through all the darkness? The elect, starting with the prophets.
Yeah, everything is satire. It's like everything is satire. Everything's a joke. People want to be the new Instagram comedian, or, you know.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Everything's a joke.
Everything like for breaking news, they'll use that as content. You know, for new content for their channel.
Yeah, that's true. Like clickbait.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It says, who will ever notice? They ask. As they plot their crimes, they say, we have devised the perfect plan. Yes, the human heart and mind are cunning. Okay, and the scriptures say that this the serpent, all right, was the most cunning beast of the field, beast representing all the other nations. Okay, but Yahweh, Shimon Shai himself, will shoot them with his arrows, okay, suddenly striking them down. And that's starting with this truth as well, right? This truth is exposing this devil, but this is going to play out via the missiles after they believe they have set up their global surveillance system and new world order.
When he is about
He's
to fill
about to
his
fill his
belly.
belly.
Exactly. Yeah. When he's about to fill his belly, right? So it says, verse 8, their own tongues will ruin them, and all who see him will shake their heads in scorn. And it's true. Like Elder Yashawamba, he had mentioned, the two witnesses, but then he also said there's a third witness, right? Which is, these truthers, right? And mainly his own people, these Edomites that bring out the information on what they're doing. So his own tongue is will ruin him. It's ruining him right now.
Mhm.
Then everyone will be afraid. They will proclaim the mighty acts of Yahweh, Bashim Shai, and realize all the amazing things he does. The godly will rejoice in the Lord Yahweh and find shelter in him, right? And those who do what is right will praise him.
That's right. That's right.
That's it on that.
Page 11, they even commit to increasing attribution, meaning they're not just monitoring, they're identifying you, tagging you, and filing you away. And while all this is being pitched as defending democracy, what they're building is a worldwide system of ideological border control. One set of values, one version of truth, one digital identity to rule them all. The EU calls it global cooperation, but what it really is basically digital imperialism. They're laying the groundwork for a world where you won't be able to speak, travel, or access basic services without plugging into their infrastructure. And by framing it as a necessary step for economic growth and national security, they've made resistance seem irresponsible. But make no mistake, this isn't about safety or innovation. This is about converting the chaos on the ground into obedience in the cloud. You don't get tanks in the streets forever, but you can get a digital ID that makes sure the wrong person never gets on the street to begin with. That's where this is going. They're not just policing your city anymore, they're about to police your existence. And right on cue, Trump just signed a stack of executive orders that take the next step in locking the net around us, this time from the skies. While half the internet cheers like, whoa, this is so cool, flying taxis, like we're gonna be living in the Jetsons soon. What actually is happening here is a lot more like Ukraine war footage, okay? Precision drones raining down on targets, except next time it'll be your house flagged by an algorithm for saying the wrong thing. Trump's latest move expands commercial drone use, kills visibility restrictions, and gives law enforcement more power to surveil and control the airspace. One order gives police and public safety officials permission to fly drones beyond visual line of sight, which means you won't even know when they're watching you. Another opens the door to vertical takeoff aircraft for cargo and rescue, which, if you understand what wording they're using, this could easily mean automated lockdown enforcement in rural areas. And the crazy part is he's not just legalizing this tech, he's building a domestic drone industry to replace Chinese supply chains, pushing for mass production, government adoption, and full-blown export to allied nations. So in short, he's laying the foundation for a surveillance economy with drones as a new patrol car, mailman, and airstrike. To sweeten the deal, Trump told the FAA to lock down airspace over critical infrastructure and federal facilities, while the DOJ is now tasked with ramping up enforcement against unauthorized drone activity. In other words, your ability to own or operate drones will be tightly controlled, but the government's ability to use them on you will be unlimited. It's the same pattern every time. They hype the cool toys and ignore the cage being built with them. Commercial drones for innovation, surveillance drones for safety, military-grade AI drones for security events. And just like that, you're living under a grid that never sleeps, never blinks, and never forgets who you are. And just to put the cherry on top here, Trump didn't just talk drones and flying taxis in vague terms. The White House officially confirmed 3 new executive orders designed to fast-track this entire airborne surveillance infrastructure. On paper, it's
Right. So let's get 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. Okay, in the NLT. Okay, so I'll start from 8. It says, then the man of lawlessness will be revealed, but the Lord, Yahweh Shai, will kill him with the breath of his mouth, starting with the prophets, and then later by, the so-called UFOs, the chariots, and the missiles, and destroy him by the splendor of his coming. This man will come to do the work of Satan, right? Which is to be adverse to the truth, all right, and deceive the world with counterfeit, right, power and signs and miracles,
Hey,
right?
brother, that's Slaki. That's exactly what you said.
exactly what you said.
I'm echoing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't,
Yeah.
I don't hear the echo.
No, I don't hear it.
No, I don't
As
hear
much.
it as much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all you brothers
all you
are
brothers
echoing
are
too.
echoing too.
But
Yeah, it is.
what you call
What
it?
you call it?
Technology.
Technology.
Technology
Technology
means
means
an
an
artificer,
artificer,
right? That's where
right?
you get
That's where you get
artificial from.
artificial from.
So
So
this
this
man is
man
a
is a
counterfeit.
counterfeit.
His whole
His whole
society's
society's
counterfeit.
counterfeit.
That's right. Yep. Yep. Exactly. And counterfeit to what? To the kingdom of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Counterfeit to
Counterfeit to
life,
yeah,
pretty much.
life, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because all this technology we
Because all
have,
this
we're gonna get
technology
in the
we have,
kingdom,
we're
but
gonna get in
better,
the kingdom, but
and
better,
it's gonna be
and it's gonna be
beneficial to our health.
to our health.
That's right. That's right.
But this man's technology
But
is
this man's
detrimental to your
technology is
health.
detrimental to your health.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
Straight. Straight.
There's an echo, eh? Holy.
Mhm.
No, because when you switch,
No, because when you
whatever
switch,
made
whatever
the
made
video be
the
heard,
video be heard,
Yeah.
that's what brought the echo
that's what
again.
brought the echo again.
You have two of
Oh.
them.
You have two of them.
Because remember when I said
Remember when I
you can't
said
hear the
you can't
video,
hear the
once you
video,
turn
once you
whatever
turn
on,
whatever on,
that's when the echo
that's when
came.
the echo came.
Okay. Okay.
You have
Okay.
to click on something.
Click on
You have
something.
two,
Probably.
Amath,
Okay. Okay.
Amath.
Yeah.
try your earphones.
Try
Plug them
your
out.
earphones. Plug them out.
Oh, I took them out. I don't have them in.
You're out. Okay,
You're
come on.
out. Okay.
Come on.
Let me see if because I did put it on a certain setting. I put it on personal, not conference. Maybe now you guys can't hear it from me.
No. No.
No.
So anybody else try to say something?
Check.
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 Yeah,
Sure.
good. It's good now.
No? Okay. So
Yeah.
all right. So I guess when I have it on personal, I keep the headphones on. When I don't, I keep them off. Okay.
Mhm.
So back here in 2 Thessalonians 2:9, it says, "This man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. He will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction," which tells you that the people, anybody and everybody that will partake of this system, all right, via the microchip, is set up for destruction, is preordained, all right, to take it and be set up for destruction because they refuse to love and accept the truth, right? That would save them. Because we're like those party poopers, right? As everybody is excited for flying cars and, like he said, all the toys that they don't realize comes with a cage, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're like the party poopers of this new age. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. If I may add,
Uh,
remember during the time of the serpent piss, right? They had everyone bugging out. Oh, I want to go back on patios. I want my life back.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All about convenience.
Yes. Yeah. Fun. Yep.
And they were blaming the people that were trying to not get this serpent piss. They're saying it's your
Yeah.
guys' fault. You guys need to get it. Oh, you got to blame the anti. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Mhm.
They're getting pissed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It says he will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction because they refuse to love and accept the truth that would save them. So Yahweh, Bashim El Shah, will cause them to be greatly deceived, and they will believe these lies. Then they will be condemned for enjoying evil, right? So whatever, because he's promising all kinds of things with this microchip and this technological age, right? He's promised like they have people with who now can do telekinesis, right? Because they have the Neuralink in them, right? Blind can see, lame can walk, so on and so forth, right? You can even dissect your dreams, all these kind of things, right? But little do you know, you're just enjoying evil. Okay. It says, then they will be condemned for enjoying evil rather than believing the truth. Okay. And really, this is mainly to Israel, right? Because the heathens are not set up to really believe the truth, anyways. But you rebellious Israelites and you wicked teachers of Israel, all right, if you're not of the elect, okay, you're going to get, it's going to be a heavy judgment because you're going to partake in this evil system.
If I may add,
Hmm.
and they're you see with the whole the smartphones, the chat GPT, you know,
Right,
it's made people lazy, it's dumbed people
right.
down, it's become people more reliant on technology. It's basically these elites, it's their training wheels on the masses, right?
Hmm.
To usher in this MOTB. When the MOTB comes, everyone's going to be totally reliant on this technology, Esau says sorcery, and they're going to be willing, you know, they're going to be like,
Yeah,
please give it to me, please.
that's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
I need you to think for me. I need I need the Neuralink. I can't do without it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Hey, the word technology, I mentioned it. I'll just bring it out on Edom Online. From the Greek techno, meaning art, skill, craft, and work. From pre-Indo-European texna, meaning craft of weaving or fabricating. From tex, meaning to weave, also to fabricate. So what does the word fabricate mean? It's a fallacy, a counterfeit. What you just read in that other scripture. Or you're still there, I think, right? Second Timothy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a counterfeit, man. You know.
that's right.
Hey, was that scripture in Wisdom of Solomon? They are a counterfeit to us, or how's it go?
Oh yeah, Wisdom of
Yeah,
Solomon too.
yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So the ungodly, you know. So that's exactly because Esau, Edom, going back to Cain, going back to the serpent, they are counterfeits of life, really, and they hate, them that are of life, that have the light, you know.
Hmm.
So they everything from what they put their hands to what they tell you to their theories, it's all fabrication. It's all counterfeit.
Hmm.
Just like he has seedless, watermelons, and you got to
Yeah.
go on a mission to find a watermelon that's seeded. He brings you counterfeit food, counterfeit water, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is it
Wisdom.
2:16? Is that the one you want? Slakia, wisdom.
Yep. That's right. Yeah. Let me start. I got it in King James. Let me start at
10.
14. It says,
Mhm.
he was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us,
Mhm.
even to behold. Oh, so they hate the elect, man. For his life is not like other
Mhm.
men's. His ways are of another fashion. We are esteemed of him as
That's right.
counterfeits.
There you go.
He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounces the end of the just to be blessed and maketh his boast that Yahweh is his father. Right?
You said Salakia.
Hmm.
Yeah, you said there he abstaineth from our ways as filthiness,
Yep.
right? Listen, the elect are in a mindset of fuck this place, man. The elect
That's right.
are totally like, yo, we got to get out here. The elder did a lesson this morning. We got to get out of here, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mindset that we're in.
That's
We're
right.
like, yo, we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you had
1000%.
the fucking Ammonite dressed up as an anime schoolgirl driving around kids,
I
man.
seen that.
What kind
I
of
seen
bugged
that.
out shit is that, bro? I don't want to fucking live here.
Right.
That's right.
That's the goal.
Yeah, shit's vexing for real.
Hmm.
Let me get this from the brother Raquai Flowing Brook. Shalom to the brothers and sisters on the common board. Sincere brothers and sisters. It says here, Jeremiah 8:7. Yea, the stork in the heaven knoweth her appointed times, and the turtle and the crane and the swallow observe the time of their coming. But my people know not the judgment of the Lord. That's right. Again, because they're drunk. They're drunk off of the counterfeit miracles of this devil, all right, and the ways of this world, and ultimately off the flesh. As the scriptures say, all that's in the world is the flesh of the eyes,
Mhm.
right, and the lust of the heart. That's all that's in this man's world, in this man's kingdom.
Yep. Pride of life.
So,
That's right.
Let me get this real quick.
oh, take
Yeah,
your time.
Khan.
Slack it. This is 1 John 2 and 15 NLT. It says, "Do not love this world nor the things it offers you. For when you love the world, you do not have the love of the Father in you. For the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure,
Mhm.
a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions. These are not from the Father, but are from this world." So that just shows you, like, from elementary school to how you get, taught in the society, oh, you're supposed to be proud, and you know this whole sense of possession and what I did, what are my accolades, my credentials, all these things just lead to more vanity, really,
That's
you know.
right.
And it's not of the Father, so we know we can't go that route, right? Verse 17, "And this world is fading away along with everything that people crave, but anyone who does that, but anyone who does that what pleases the Most High will live forever."
That's right.
Yeah,
And that's what they're
growing
trying
up
to
in a world.
achieve, man.
Slovakia.
No, Salaki, I was just gonna say that's what they're trying to achieve by merging man with machine, right? Promising you that you're gonna be able to live longer, right? But the scriptures say that there's gonna be putrefying swords for, you know, that's gonna be the results of their so-called miracles, which is counterfeit miracles, man. Showing you that there's only one way to enter everlasting life, and that's through the way that's through the path Yahweh Shai laid down.
Hey, brother, not just live longer life, live longer doing sin, live longer with thriving in sin. Remember, these people want, like you said, man with machine. They want a super duper strong heart for their cocaine habits. You know how these politicians get down. When this guy Trudy went to India, they had to stop the plane. They had to keep it on the ground. They said, "Well, we found white powder." Macron, that footage with him with the white powder bag. When someone walked in to the office, "Oh, you hide the bag," and they try to hide the bag. These guys do all these drugs and abominable shit. They want to live a great quality of life while committing sin.
Yeah. That's right.
Because sin brings death. It brings plagues. It brings diseases. This guy, who had that pig heart transplant, I think he had it like 7 times, man, or 6-7 times. These guys get these things because they put their vessels through hell, man. They put their vessels through so much hell that the regular person ODs and dies. They just want to keep living, doing all their madness, bro. Like,
I think that governor official Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney, the water, yeah, Dick Cheney. Yeah, but a bunch of them get it. I think a Rothschild, a Rockefeller, one of the Rockefellers. But yeah, Dick Cheney, the water. Yeah, that was the guy.
You're gonna say something?
I forgot.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Is that it on that, Elder? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Ashar.
Yeah, Khan. Just what the elder mentioned it about the alphabet guy driving the school bus in this place. The sickness. So this is the book of Philippians 1:21. I read from 21 to 24 in the NLT. And it reads, "For to me, living in Yahushua and dying is even better. We're doing this just to better ourselves.
Yeah.
Verse 22. But if I leave, I can do more fruitful work for Yahushua. So I really don't know which is better. Verse 23.
Kind.
I'm torn between two desires. I long to go and be with Yahushua,
Mm.
which is better for me. So for us, it's better to just, have this place. But like the elders say, a lot of people wants to continue and feel their wickedness in this place.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Sorry. Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Sweet.
But that was in
Nice.
Mm.
Kind.
Real quick, I got Isaiah. Just wanted to bring it up because it was already broken down. Basically, this precept I'm going to bring out from the book of Isaiah, the 47th chapter, and 9 and 10. If I may read that, because simply put, just for you folks
Yeah.
out
Go
there
ahead. You good?
to get it. Let me just pull that screen up. I don't know where did it go? Here we go. Okay. It says, one quick. This is Isaiah 47 and 9. It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment. In one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries. Right? And that's how these people want to live. Right? Starting with our people. Let's join up with them. As that was broken down. It says that, and for great abundance of the enchantments. So they want it all. Right? You already broke it down in regards to the tool. It's telepathy and AI merged together. Simply put, right? And then it says this, verse 10, here's the point, driving it home. Verse Isaiah 47 and 10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
Thou hast said, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge. It has perverted thee. See, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am none else besides me. Now, of course, it goes into this system, Sodom and Egypt system, right? Mystery Babylon, right? That's the head of all of this wickedness, right? And you people have swallowed it down, and you're swallowed up into it, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord doesn't like it. It's going to be destroyed. And by the way, we don't like it here, but we have to wait on our Lord to deliver us, man.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, so the guy was it's like it was David Rockefeller, right? It says David Rockefeller also was associated. It was Dick Cheney that had the pig heart, but I was thinking of David Rockefeller is associated with multiple heart transplants over his lifetime. While the exact numbers debated, there are reports suggesting he underwent at least 6 heart transplants, one of which was rumored to have been performed at Hudson Valley, New York estate. And then this is a quote by him. It says, every time I get a new heart, it is like the breath of life is swept across my body. I feel re-energized and alive. Because these devils, man, they have their ceremonies and their parties and shit, man.
Oh, wait. Fuck, man.
They're really like, you got to think about it. They're really mocking and spitting in the face of Yahweh Shem Shai. Like, oh, I'm not gonna die yet. I'm not gonna, and they're cursing him at these ceremonies and things. And
Wow.
it's just a height of pride that we don't really see. We can't really understand yet.
Yeah, it's true. I want to bring this out, and Revelation 9, and I'll start at 18. I'll start at 17, but just land back off your point about how these people they want to live longer, so they can continue in their wickedness. Well, he even tells you after Yahweh Shai shows up with his chariots, the missiles drop, America's destroyed. Even after all of that, showing you how deep embedded this wickedness is in their mind, this is what they're going to get into. They're not going to repent. So it says Revelation 9 and 17, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and a jacinth, which is referring to a color, red, and brimstone, and the heads of the horses, which is the missiles, right, was the heads of lions, and out of their mouth issued fire and smoke and brimstone, right? That's the warheads. And out of the warheads comes all the missiles. By these three were the third part of men killed, right? The Edomites, by the fire and by the smoke, and really all the Edomites mainly in America, because you got a lot more Edomites that are going to be hiding off in bunkers when all this goes down. And by the brimstone which issued out of their mouth. It says, for their powers in their mouth and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, right, after World War III, yet repented not of their works. And you got to remember, the people that are left behind, they all have the microchip in them. Okay. So it says, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stones and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk, neither repented they of their murder. So the Most High has them in a heavy trick bag, because who knows? We're definitely going to be up there, Lord of the elect, in them chairs for a bit, because America's going to be on fire for a while. It's a big country, a lot of waste and toxins, right, in there that are going to burn for a while, and the smoke. So after all of that time going by, they're going to continue, and they're going to forget all about it, so to speak. Then you're going to have New Jerusalem coming down from heaven out of them chariots. Right? So it makes sense when you think about 1,000 years of slavery under the Israelites, because we're going to need 1,000 years, all right, to unteach all the wickedness that you've had in your mind. Okay? It says, nor walk, neither repented they of their murders. So things just got worse. For of their sorceries, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornications, nor of their theft. So if you think, these politicians and various technocrats and whatnot do drugs now and do all this stuff now, imagine when they have the microchip in them, all the shit they're going to be doing while we're in them chariots.
Yeah, they're sealed with the mark of disobedience, and we know it's more. That has been building up for quite some time.
Hey, because in Wisdom of Solomon too, remember, and later on it says, "Let us use the creation as in the days of youth."
Yes.
So meaning,
Yes.
let us live carefree. I know I'm 70 years old, but I'm still, I'm still doing this madness to the fullest extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, verse 6.
Yeah. It says, come, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 6. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present. Let us speedily use creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us.
Yep. Hey, just like, where do you think heroin comes from? The poppy, which is the spring flower. Morphine, heroin, codeine, right?
That's right.
They use all, like Aleister Crowley. He was a big druggie. He was addicted to heroin. So that's these devils, man. And it says speedily used, so they're just in a rush to just crash out, just to, Esau, man, son of perdition, rock and roll. Hey, the rock and roll guys, those guys idolize the occult leaders like Aleister Crowley. So if you think they lived the high life, it was the occult leaders, really those guys, the bankers, they really lived that rock and roll life in real life.
Right.
Those guys literally worship the Beatles. They worship Aleister Crowley. All those top guys, they all worship the occult leaders, man.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Wow. In the GNT, it says, verse 6, the wicked say, come on, let us enjoy the good things of life and live in this world the way we did when we were young and free. Care.
Young and free,
Right?
That's why this whole society, right? Forever 21. I want to be a kid forever. I want to. That's that spirit too. They want to
Yeah.
keep you in that stupid mindset of party, party, party.
That's right.
You know.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. They drink that chrome.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Con. Yeah. The adrenal. Yeah.
Hmm.
Right.
Yo, there's some good precepts on here. Okay. Let's get
Bring it out.
this. Yes, right. Let's get Lion of Judah 144. Shalom.
1001. Shalom.
Yeah. Khan, Tazawam, Shalom. It says, for there are no bands in their death,
Mm-hmm.
right? All these heart transplants, but their strength is firm. It says, verse 5, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Verse 6, it says, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. So the
Hmm.
Most High is letting them continue in their wickedness because he's fattening up the calf, just like he did
Mm-hmm.
with Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Violence covereth them as a garment. Fuck.
Hey, real quick,
You can tell. Yeah.
it's like in the NLT, verse 4 says, they seem to live such painless lives. Their bodies are so healthy and strong because, like,
Yeah,
if they have a failing organ, they'll just replace it. They have the top
they,
Jake ready. Yo, I need a new liver. Oh, okay, let's go. We got Tyrone. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? They just got
Yeah.
Jake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Heart,
Yeah.
a new
Yeah.
heart. You're on the donor transplant list for 10 years waiting, for a new kidney.
Hmm.
They got that shit ready, you know?
Man,
So
gone.
that's part of that
Jesus.
AI cyborg man with machine because they're gonna be super pumped. They're gonna be super healthy. Fuck.
Gone.
wow, no end to it.
This is from the end has come. Shalom. It says Second Ezra 9 and 11, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, talking about Israelites, understood not, but despised it. Because, like you mentioned, a lot of these people, especially in the music industry, right, even among our people, mainly among our people, they all worship Aleister Crowley and the occult leaders, right? So, they and even these wicked ass teachers, man, within Israel, they in their mind they're thinking they can blend this thing with occult practices and receive some kind of status, right, and live in some kind of pleasure in this life because ultimately they don't see the kingdom of heaven coming. Right? They have that same mindset of rushing to crash out and doing all over again, like Esau Edom. Hence why the Lord Yahweh Shai said, "Ye are of your father the devil, right?
Hmm.
And ye will do the lust and the works of him thereof." Roughly paraphrasing. All right, verse oh damn, verse 12. It says, "The same must know it after death by pain." That's right. Okay. Yeah, it's a good precept too. It's a lot of good precepts. I'll read this one. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
True.
Verse 12. Though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with him that fear Yahweh Bashem El Shai, which fear before him.
That's right.
Verse 13, it says, but it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before Yahweh, Hashem El Shai.
Mhm.
Yeah. So let's go back to this clip and play a little bit more here.
Now it's not playing. You got to switch it back
Yeah, I gotta switch it back. Okay.
and then switch it after back. There's no echo.
Okay. Oh wait. Okay, let me know if you can hear it now.
No.
Okay, so I have to really do it completely. Okay,
But the language gives it away. The orders are set to secure
it's good now.
Yeah.
Okay.
our
Yep.
airspace, reduce reliance on adversarial nations, and enable routine beyond line of sight operations. That means you're going to have drones watching you from anywhere at any time under the pretense of keeping you safe. Isn't that interesting? He's signing this executive order. So if anything happens in the future that will give them the green light to use this tech on you soon, well, we know who was behind the false flag, okay? Who benefits? But it does get worse, unfortunately. You know, I'm the bearer of good news here. They're launching a pilot program for flying cars, not for your convenience, but for EMS, air taxis, cargo, and defense logistics. That means military grade vertical takeoff aircraft will soon be flying low over your neighborhood, tracking you under the guise of emergency response or package delivery. Don't worry about that drone outside, okay? It's just for Amazon. Mix that with AI facial recognition, Palantir behavioral scoring, and digital ID infrastructure, and suddenly your city's not just geofenced, it's airlocked. One line practically screams predictive policing here, okay? Minority report style system incoming. Address the growing threats from criminal, terrorist, and foreign misuse of drones inside U.S. airspace. That's how they always do it. You see that? They scare you with the threat of some vague boogeyman, then implement total surveillance for everyone. You won't be able to sneeze in your backyard without a flying cop drone uploading your face to a federal server. And all of that is being rolled out hand in hand with Silicon Valley. Biometric databases and these digital slavery systems no one asked for. This is the build out. This is the skeleton of the techno prison. It's not coming, it's already here. Just a thought on Twitter says this. Merging Canada and the US is the North American Union. Major role in the
Get
NWO.
the head
That's
here.
right, Club of Rome book. The humanoid delivery agents, AI dispatch systems, and drone enforced no-go zones. And the people cheering this on, well, they're too hypnotized by sci-fi aesthetics to notice the techno collar tightening around their necks. What you're seeing isn't progress, obviously. None of this is progress. It's population replacement. First with migrants and then eventually machines, whenever the technology is advanced enough. And isn't the timing just a little too perfect? Right as cities explode into chaos, right as governments start openly greenlighting AI surveillance states, Apple swoops in to help with another digital ID. That's right, rolling out a digital passport system straight into your iPhone. What luck! I mean, thank God for Apple. Just as riots spread from LA to Dublin and leaders talk predictive policing, like that's what we need, a minority report style pre-crime unit to put us in jail before we commit a crime based on Twitter posts. And now we suddenly get a friendly little update from Cupertino, letting us know that starting this fall, your identity will now live in your phone. iOS 26 will feature passport-based digital IDs, fully integrated with Apple Wallet and ready for use at
Oh, this is a good preset. You get this from The End Has Come. Second Ezra's 9 and 20, it says, So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that have come into it. Very good preset.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right?
Hey, they showed you that in that movie, The Fifth Element, right? They had
Yeah.
the police because it's flying cars, but they were
Right.
flying a car, and the police checked the license. It's like it's not coming back as anything. The guy's like, oh, he has a blocker, he has a scanner blocker. It means he's a thief.
Right.
He's a thief. Blast him.
Yeah, Khan. Yeah. Well, it's on fire. Another good precept. This one is Isaiah 32 and 7. The instrument also of the churl are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speak right. That's right. That's right.
100%.
In verse 7 in the NLT, it says the smooth trick of the scoundrel are evil. They plot crooked schemes. They lie to convict the poor, even when the cause of the poor is just.
Khan.
TSA checkpoints, apps, and God knows what else. They say it's not replacing your physical ID, so don't worry. Which, let's be honest, it's in your phone. So basically, that means it's in your bloodstream. Okay, this is going to be your digital ID. This is how the system works: chaos, then control. Stir up enough unrest, enough violence, enough national emergencies, and you can sell any dystopian tool as a security update. And now with Apple joining the team, it's game over for physical autonomy. These aren't just IDs for airports. The plan is full integration: state-issued driver's licenses, age verification for social media, logins for banking, even news access, all routed through a device that tracks you 24/7 and reports back to Big Brother through backdoors they call features. And don't forget who's behind it. Apple's not doing this alone. This rollout is backed by the TSA, which has already confirmed they'll accept these digital passports. The same TSA that helped normalize body scanners and no-fly lists after 9/11 is now merging identity into your phone under the illusion of convenience. Meanwhile, Apple is quietly embedding Find My Location, tracking deeper into luggage, boarding passes, and apps, tying your movement and identity into one tidy surveillance ecosystem. See how it works? And at first, it's going to be voluntary until, it's not. The line between optional and required blurs real fast when the infrastructure is already in your hand. This is the final mile of a system built on decades of false flags, biopolitical manipulation, and manufactured panic. The riots justify the rollout. The rollout justifies the crackdown. And the digital ID is the collar. That's the tether. Because once your access to society depends on a corporate-managed, state-approved ID embedded into your phone, you're not a citizen anymore. You're a barcode. Ain't it funny? Technology used to mean advancement, like better cameras, faster processors, something you actually wanted. Now all that just stays the same. And
Really, what he just basically said was Revelation 13,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'll get that real quick. Revelation 13, and let's start at NLT. So let me start at 14, the King James.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation 13 and 14. Okay, and it reads, "And deviseth and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast," which is what they're doing right now. And all these nations and the kings of the nations are getting together to build this image. Is going to be the new world order. All right. And that's really the beast system. Okay. Which had the wound by a sword and did live, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast by the means of the sword and by the means of his tongue. Right. The sword, the military, manufactured cyber attacks, terrorist attacks, and also by deception using the tongue, laws, mandates, so on and so forth. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man may buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast on, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and the number is 666, right? 666. Okay, so I'll play a little bit more of this, and then that'll be basically it. So he goes through a lot of different information in this video, but if you guys want at home want to go and watch, he brings a lot of information. His eyes is watching. Skip ahead here.
the only thing that gets upgraded is surveillance. That's right, your digital shackles. That's about it. Go buy the new iPhone. It tracks your location, flags your speech, and if you leave your 15-minute city, this one explodes. Welcome to innovation. So as I said last show, the Elon versus Trump feud. Remember that? Told y'all it was fake. I said if they made up, it's confirmation it was total BS. Political reality TV is entertaining, I have to say. For people
Right
posted this. Oh, the irony as a joke to a meme. He deleted that tweet. But something that will greenlight the Palantir AI survey bases
Palantir.
spoke to a meme
Right.
saying Iran wants war. Look how close they put their country to our military bases. Well, then he deleted that tweet. But like I said, Patriot Act 2.0 incoming, a digital leash after a big event. Something that will greenlight the Palantir AI surveillance state. Palantir isn't just some tech company. It's a digital crystal ball for the surveillance state. And no, that's not hyperbole. It's literally named after the Palantir from Lord of the Rings. The black orbs used for telepathic remote viewing across vast distances. In Tolkien's world, these spheres didn't just let you spy, they let the enemy manipulate your mind. That's
see
what
the
the
eye.
book was about. That's what they said Palantir was. Denethor, I don't know if I'm saying these names right because I've never been a fan of the Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, stuff like that. I never watched any of them, but I'm assuming this is how you pronounce it. Denethor, the steward of Gondor, thought he was using the Palantir to gain strategic advantage. But in reality, Sauron was feeding him carefully curated images of doom and despair, turning him into a paranoid wreck until he lit himself on fire.
Which that's what the television does, right? That's what your iPhone does. That's what Instagram does. It feeds you images, right? Controlling your mind, putting you in a state of
Psychosis.
psychosis. Really, yes, that's right. State of psychosis. That's right.
Yeah, that sounds promising for us. Now, flash forward to our reality here, where a man named Peter Thiel, whose name literally unscrambles into the reptile, co-founds a company modeled after the same tech. And we're all supposed to pretend this is just good old Silicon Valley innovation, advancements in technology. Alongside Thiel is Palantir CEO Alex Karp, who proudly admits their software has helped squash nationalist uprisings across Europe. Yeah, you know, because you need to use advanced Israeli tech on the population to quell those stupid, disobedient protesters because they dare to keep their culture. Yeah, how dare them? But hey, don't worry, Palantir is here to prevent that. Demonic global cult, people. Palantir fuses government, big tech, and intel agencies into one all-seeing, all-knowing, algorithmic eye of Sauron. But looking at the eye of Sauron here, oh, that looks real cool right there. Can't wait to have one of those in every single one of our houses, just watching us at all time. It's not a company, okay? This is a empire built on metadata and manipulation. They're testing the next phase of this techno-tyranny in Ukraine. Can you believe it? Palantir right now is being used in Ukraine to figure out how they're going to use it on their own citizens soon. This isn't war here. This is a beta test. So whatever's happening in Ukraine is not only a war, but a beta test in full spectrum AI surveillance, drones, wearables, sensors, satellites, all of it, all stitched together by a live 5G grid. In Ukraine, they're saying they're using 5G to check soldiers' vitals, location data, enemy detection, handled by AI parsing heat signatures and social media at the same time. 20 years ago, you could track 10 targets a day, now 300. And that's just with 5G. So now they're already teasing 6G. So that will be slated to be released later this year. So just imagine what happens when they jack the signal and plug it straight into the Golden Dome system back home. Is it for defense? Or is it about mentally mapping civilians the same way they scan combatants? Because once this infrastructure is in place, you don't need to deploy troops. You just manage populations through data and perception, like Denethor staring too long into the Palantir, convinced the war was already lost. People today are bombarded with algorithmic-fed fear loops that shape how they think, vote, and obey. Replace magic with machine learning, AI, and you've got mind control at scale. Orwell warned us, but he warned us too accurately to think he's not controlled up, okay? Tolkien romanticized it. Palantir just operationalized it. Just weeks ago, Laura Loomer.
All right, so a lot there, but yeah.
Yeah, pretty much Esau wants to be like the most high.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure Trump too is trying to get, I think he passed a bill to make an AI government, make government AI, so AI government. So you'll have AI, you won't have voting politicians, which you never really had anyways, right? It was already pre-picked.
Mm-hmm.
I got a quick precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
On this devil. This is Second Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11 says Satan.
Echo.
Yeah.
Echo.
Let me remove this. Okay. How about now?
Check.
Check.
I don't know.
Still there.
Still there?
Yeah.
Okay. How about
What's that?
is there echo?
Check.
Check.
No, it's gone.
I don't. I
Good.
think it's gone.
Of course, it's gone. Whatever, man.
The enchantment's
So
gone.
this is Second Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices."
Hmm.
All these things that he is like doing out there in the world and throwing in front of Israel, in front of the whole world. The prophets, the true prophets, the true men of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, the elect men, they're not going to be ignorant to what is happening, man. They're
That's
going to
right.
be able to see all these things coming at full speed, you know. So it doesn't even matter what Satan's trying to do, but we're here to wake up our men and make them know what's going on, you know, the elect.
Well, we're just fishers. The Most High wakes them up.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yep. And that was it.
Gone. This is my last precept. You get 2nd Ezra 16 and 68. The GNT.
It's funny. I was meditating on that today. I don't know if you brothers
Mhm.
remember. Just a few months ago, maybe 2-3 months ago, Apostle Tahar, he made a video, and he said we're in the time of 2nd Ezra 15 and 16.
Yeah, I
I don't know if
remember
you,
that.
yeah, you remember that. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like in the spirit. I'm like, yeah, I could see that, and then all of a sudden, you just start seeing these things happening.
Yeah,
So that shows you, man, we're in those times, and those are the prophets, man.
that's right.
You know?
That's right. And it's coming out a lot more. When I watch various brothers' videos, it comes out more and more because that's the time that we're in, like you said.
But when he said it, it was quiet.
Yeah.
You know?
It's only been as recent that's been coming out a little bit more. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 68. It says a vast in the GNT, a vast mob of people is ready now to descend on you and devour you like flame. This will drag they will drag some of you off and force you to be to eat pagan sacrifices. Now, just to get some clarity, when you look at the word force, it tells you because force. Oh, that's wrong. Spell it. Spelled it right for me. Force, right? In the noun, it says strength,
Mhm.
right? It says fortitude, violence, power, compulsion. So how will this devil force? What is this devil's strength? His sword and his tongue. So he's going to
The
deceive
decrees,
many,
yeah.
as we read, right? But he's going to send out those troops, put many people into concentration camps, right? He's going to threaten death if you don't partake of it. Okay, if you don't partake of his system.
It's like it, bro. Down there, if you go back real quick, the second paragraph, it said meanings power to convince the mind.
Woo! I didn't even see that. That's funny.
Yeah, so that's, hey, you got to eat. Your kids got to eat. You know,
Yes.
you got to turn the
Yes.
heat on.
Come.
Damn.
And power exerted against the will or consent. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's yeah, beautiful. So going back here, it says verse 69, if you give in to them, they will ridicule you, mock you, and humiliate you. In many places. Yep.
Yeah, right. All those mocking videos. Brasha just came out last week. Remember, and the prophecies and so forth like
Mhm.
that. Yeah, I mean, as brother said, simply put, man, you know, it's live, man. If you people can't see it, that's too bad. But yeah, we're in that chapter, no doubt about it. Slacker, brother, go ahead, man.
Oh, well, you're right, because Wisdom of Solomon 2, it tells you this is their plan. In their mind, it says, look, it says, verse 17, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 17, let us see if his words be true. and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. So yeah. So if here you are chatting about, oh, I'm not going to take it, this isn't going to happen, and a lot of you are going to take it that are Israelites and are not ultimately of the elect, all right, and not sincere, they're going to mock you. They're going to be mocking you. Didn't you say this? Didn't you say that? Here you are with this, right? For if the just man be the son of Yahweh, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies.
Mhm.
Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may. And brothers had dreams about this, man. Various dreams came out about this, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where they're in the trick bag, because the elect are armed with the mindset that we know, just like Yahushua said to Pilate, you can't do anything to me unless my Father in heaven has given you the power to do it. See?
That's true.
It says, let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. And it tells you here, it says, such things they imagined and were deceived, for their own wickedness has blinded them.
Mhm.
All right. And as for the mysteries of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, they knew them not,
See?
neither hoped for the wages of righteousness, nor discerned a reward for blameless souls. All right. So going back here, verse 70, it says, in many places near the cities, there will be violent persecution against those who fear the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. The attackers will attack like wild people. They will plunder and destroy without pity all those who still fear the Lord. They will turn them out of their homes and take away all their possessions. This will be the time of testing for my chosen people. You see? And they will prove to be pure as refined gold. Zechariah 13 and 9, right? 8 and 9.
That's right.
But listen to what the Lord Yahweh says. Yahweh Bashim Yahshai says, my chosen people, the time of terrible suffering is near, but I will rescue you. Don't be afraid or have any doubts. I am your power and I will lead you. If you keep my laws and commandments, right, in spirit and truth, says the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, you must not let your sins weigh you down or control you. And this is what you went into earlier, Elder, about that time of testing. And really, you have to overcome the flesh, because
Mhm.
you're not going to be a part of the grid anymore. So you have to solely 100% rely on Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, as we do already anyways. It's just that the grid, we're still somewhat a part of the grid. Okay. Those who are chained by their sins, overwhelmed by the evil they have done, are doomed. They will be like a field overgrown with brush, with the path across it so choked with thorns that no one can get through. That's right. It is abandoned and doomed to be destroyed by fire. So basically, those who lose faith. Okay. So that's it. That's it for me.
Can I bring this out?
Brother, yeah, Khan.
Yeah, this is the book of 2 Thessalonians 2. I'll read from 8 to 12 in NLT. Reads, then the man of loveliness will be revealed, but the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, will kill him with the breath of his mouth and destroy him with the splendor of his coming.
Mhm.
Verse 9, this man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit powers and signs and miracles, going into Neuralink, going to phones, everything linked one thing to another, having power and control over you. Verse 10,
Yeah.
he will use every kind of evil and deception to fool those on their way to destruction, because they refuse to love and accept the truth that will save them. Verse 11, so Yahweh will cause them to be greatly deceived, and they will believe these lies, So it doesn't matter what you tell these people, this place coming to an end. MOTB, they don't believe that.
That's right.
There's so much trust in Esau. Verse 12, then they will be condemned for enjoying evil rather than believing the truth. So at the end of the day, let them die.
God.
Dead, dirty, dead.
No, it came
I got
out when you read was it Wisdom of Ezra? It says they don't know him and
There's no
they don't know his mysteries. They're just wicked.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like the Apostle Paul say, there's no time for debate.
That's right.
No time.
Yeah,
It's either you're in or you're out,
Yep.
That's it.
Beautiful. All right. So that's it. We're going to close up. Lord willing, this lesson was straightforward and edifying to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. All right. We're going to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodah.
Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone Ruel and have taught us this word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy to the hopeful elect. All right, started with 144,000 and the innumerable multitude that sincerely believe in this truth. All right. Abba, Khan Shalom,
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to the hopeful elect.
Shalom.
Shalom to the whole world.
Yeah.